Hi Yousri, how are you today?
I'm all good. Thanks. Yourself?
Good, thank you. Let's go back to your childhood. Where were you born? Because you said you're not born in Cape Town, so where were you born? How did you come to Cape Town and when?
Okay, my family moved to Cape Town. I think I was 5 years old. And 2 years after being in Cape Town, they realized there isn't actually food places to cater for Muslim and the colored community, because I remember that time was apartheid time. I'm 56, so yeah, we're talking about 50 years ago when they opened. This year will be 50 years. And my dad had bought these cottages and the family stayed. So the one section on the corner, they decided to try out a little takeout. And with that, I just took off, because remember that time you didn't have your Kentuckys, your McDonald's, halal places. Colored people could only be restricted to certain areas, and I just took off quite well. We also then with that had to get in more staff members, expand, and there was only one cinema in the which was the Lakshorama Theatre that, again, only colored people, they couldn't go to any other cinemas. So that also brought a lot of customers to Cosy Corner after the cinema. They come grab takeouts or sit down, and it was like a sit down takeout area. And for years, we always took away, my dad had to take away part of the house, the cottages. It was like 5 cottages down this road. So today, there's no more house left. And Cosy Corner did very well in the beginning stages for many years. It's I would say an institution to what customers say, because, they knew on a weekend they're going out partying. After partying, they come to Cosy. And we used to stay open till 5 in the morning. So when the clubs come out at 3, 4, this place was still packed, And it became sort of a community. Like everyone knew each other, and it was like a cool vibe. And we did grilled steaks, we did curries, and we did quite well in the beginning years. In I would say 15, 20 years, then things started to change a bit, where you found these other big brands coming in, and then they discovered 5, maybe in the beginning stages. Few years later, they all became halal. So we had to keep up with the trends and that. So today, Cosy Corner is known for, I would say, it's Gatsby's and curries, and obviously your sandwiches and burgers, full on takeout. It was always a family-run business. Up till today, it's a family-run business. Today, it's myself, my wife, my daughter pitches in, and we're keeping it original, so we're hands-on. So the product stays the same, the service is good, and we get feedback from customers. So our food we make isn't like what I like or it's what customers want. Is there anything you'd like to
add? What did the era look like 50 years ago?
Oh, wow.
In terms of shops and things.
There was hardly any other shops, right? It was only Cosy Corner. And I think 5 or 8 years afterwards, another shop opened, which was Anissa's and the Adams family. They're the original owners. They had it for many years, and then they sold it to today, which is the Khan family. So the original owners of Anissa's, we were friends, and You know, as kids, we all grew up. We were quite a tight family, the two families, and yeah, it was nice that time. Not as competitive as things are today.
And in terms of family recipes,
Yeah.
are there any? I've read somewhere that I think your mother's musa recipe.
Oh, okay. So originally, what happened was we used to make even our own snacks, samosas, kusistas, everything. The same recipes for our masala steak is still the same. The curries, the salomis, your lamb salami is very popular. It's debone, it's A grade lamb. That's still the same, that recipe. However, when it comes to the Gatsby's and that, we've over the years worked with food technologists, tweak things the way. So today we have, I would say, a very high quality Gatsby. On the Gatsby side, we only use A grade ram steak. We use a basting sauce that's actually done with olive oil, fresh garlic, proper spices. On the curry, we only use specific spices that, you know, my mom, my aunts and that, they would insist this is how it stays. Our masala steak is a winner because, you know, it's been carried down generations. So there's a lot of secrets, how it gets marinated, how it stands for a while, how the cooking method and that. The snacks today, we support a lot of, a few families. So we knew in order to keep up the standard, even on your samosas, your kusistas, your moons, and little cocktail stuff, we had to find the best out there. So if you take our samosas, it's one family that makes only samosas for us because they can't keep up with any other people. Kusistas, again, a different family. These people make an awesome kusista, like still the original way how kusista gets made, you know, with the proper spices and stuff. When it comes to the other snacks, the moons and that, there's another Indian family that is very excellent in that. So it's 3 to 4 different families that we support in buying their products, and they make it exclusively for us. Our ingredients, when it comes to fresh produce, we support local farmers, which is in Ottery Farms, and we go to the market ourselves to source like an A grade potato for chips, and we make our own chips, and to see that everything is fresh, and you know, so everything, the quality is, we're very prickly on quality.
If you can hit us with some facts, like how many potatoes, how many samosas, kusistas, things like that, how many do you, because I'm sure they bake it like every day for you, bring it to you that day.
No, we fry it off ourselves, we sugar the kusista, they supply it raw to us.
Okay.
We finish it off.
Okay.
Potatoes, we go through 2 pallets about a week, which is roughly 220 to 250 pockets of potato, because we sell a lot of Gatsby's. People come from all over the Western Cape, northern suburbs. It's quite a far drive to the southern suburbs, but we find they drive daily and come by our Gatsby's. We supply a lot of corporates with Gatsby's and bananas and chips. There is room for expansion, which we might do in the future, but at the moment we're blessed to be that busy here and see that you're getting a good quality product. Oh, when it comes to the snacks, yeah, it's quite substantial. I would say they sell thousands of samosas, thousands of kusistas, and thousands of moons and stuff. So if one family had to do that, they would have to open a factory to supply us. So it's cool that it's 3 different families. They're good at, each one is good at their, you know, what they make. And we do sell a lot of snacks. Yeah.
And before we get into the Gatsby, just like take us back to like, let's say the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, what did a typical night out in town look like? Because obviously it was also the apartheid years, and people were not allowed to go to places or enter places. So what did a typical Friday, Saturday night look like in town?
In town?
Yeah.
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 So bear in mind, the same thing happens is with clubs, right? You would only find 2 to 3 clubs that again people of color could go to, which was, one was in Salt River. Today the Galaxy is still there. The one in Salt River, I don't know what it was called, quite famous, and there was one more club. So bear in mind that all these people, when they go to these clubs, they know each other because they're all in one club, they're regulars there. They know after, they'll chat and listen after. There's only one place that stays open till 4, a halal place, and they would all descend on this place. So if you would come here on a Friday, Saturday, even till 3, 4 in the morning, and we're from Johannesburg, Johannesburg's people going to sleep early. My mom would say, don't these people sleep? The roads going down, up. Wynberg would look like a little New York at night. Everybody's just coming from clubs and they know each other. There was a cool vibe to things. And we didn't only cater for people like colored people. And a lot of white people and of the neighboring places came that were more liberal. And it was actually cool because the cops themselves that had to enforce these laws, they get hungry at night. They would come and we got to know them, and it was a cool vibe. Today it's more about fast-paced. People phone in the order, they want their food. In fact, we are Mr. Delivery biggest client nationally as an independent store, not as the franchise obviously do, but nationally. We are the biggest client as an independent store because people want that convenience. They don't want to go out. They just, I don't know if they're playing games on their TVs or watching. They just order through Mr. Delivery. So we have a lot of phone orders, a lot of Mr. Delivery drivers hold through that, and your people that walk in and come by. Yeah.
I've also read somewhere that you had to employ extra drivers during lockdown.
Oh yes, yeah. During lockdown was hectic. I actually had to do deliveries myself because there was a curfew, first of all, and I think there was a time where 8 o'clock it shut down. Now you got to bear in mind, people all want their food now between 6 and 8, and then the Mr. Delivery app where the orders come to, I think just runs, and then there's not enough drivers and that, and then we go and take. So it was. In order for us as well to keep people employed and that, because it is funding did come through but very slow. Some people got, some people didn't. They only got like a few months later. It's a lot of paperwork you had to hand in. But for us, we could have stayed at home, just kept shut down, and we would have been okay. But our staff is like family. Most of them are here well over 15 years, 20 years, and they're still here today. So they're family, Yeah.
So what was the role of takeaway restaurants during the pandemic?
Okay, so like Cosy Corner, one of the things was, you must remember that time, because everybody came here for food and it was a very busy place, but what we found was in between they would come and have their meetings, you know what I'm saying? And we were pro-ANC that time in the sense that they were the ones that was going to fight and stand up to this regime. It was sad that some of our staff members were from Transkei and they had to have the Dompas system. So we got raided quite frequently, but the way the place was, we would see the vans pull up and everyone would run and hide. So in the house, we had a wall with a mural that was done in creekstone and was painted. But what you never noticed was there was actually a door, and behind it was our room, which was the boys' room, kids. It was quite cool. So when they pull up, everyone knew you run to that room, and then we close it. And when they would search the house, they would never find him. Until 1 year, when they pulled up, they used to come with these khaki uniforms and shambokke, and then they ran. But one lady, a slipper came off, and it was somehow those slippers, I don't know what it was. They knew African people love those slippers, and it was laying just sticking out under the table. Oh no, the lady actually hid under one of the tables because it had those tablecloths, but the slipper fell off. And as this policeman sitting and looking, and then he sees, and then he gets her out, but then they start beating, and then she starts pumping where the others are, and then they lock them up. So there was two options, like they either get deported back to Transkei, or I don't know what. But I recall my dad had to rebond his property. He didn't have to do it, but again, we were also fighting the apartheid system. So he rebonded his property and took that money and paid that. So that year, if you're going back in the 70s, 80s, 25,000 rand was a lot of money. And he had to pay them to let them, So there was a bit of rubbing of it. But I recall they had to rebond the place to pay for these people to be released. And it was quite sad for people to walk with the dompas and hiding. So Cosy Corner, there was a lot of meetings. If you take someone like Zubaida Jaffer, she stayed down the road. If you take, what was our first Minister of Finance, Trevor Manuel, all these people, they had meetings here and, things. So Cosy Corner is actually also known for fighting the apartheid system, right? In a lot of senses, when it came to rioting and protesting, we were the forefront, burning tires outside, throwing stones. And so I would say there was a space here. Even Ashley Forbes, good friend of ours that stayed around the corner, used to come here and hide. And so I remember my mom hid some people one day to, the schools were rioting and that. And some of these kids ran, and they were chasing them and tear gassing, and some of them ran, and my mom opened the front door and hid them. And this cop came and said, he saw people, and my mother said, no, he's mistaken. She can go search, because she knew they don't know about that room. And so there was a lot of activism from our part, right? And look, it wasn't a nice period, but it was also a fun period where my parents and my elder siblings, they you got to know the whole of the Western Cape in that sense. We colored people, and that up till today, people that's gone and lived overseas, when they come and visit, they get off the aeroplane, they don't even go to their destination, they stop, then they come by and they'll tell us stories, and so a lot of people say, I proposed to my wife here. I had my first wedding anniversary. I brought my wife to treat her. Cosy Corner was playing like a dual part, a takeout with a little restaurant. So there's a lot of history and memories.
So someone proposed at Cosy Corner?
Yeah, a lot of times. I mean, like you're taking your girlfriend out to go and propose at a restaurant. You have one option, Cosy Corner. We're going to take her. You're not allowed any other places because of the color of your skin. So that's how it came about.
What is the role of the Gatsby in the communities in Cape Town?
Okay, the Gatsby is something like, if you take Durban, it's known for bunny chows. In Cape Town, the Gatsby is it's a Cape Townian thing, sort of, right? And we have at Cosy Corner, like on a Friday night, it's called Gatsby Friday. On a Friday from 5, we prepared, like in the old days, I think people used to do fish and chips on a Friday. Yeah. Now it's like Gatsby Friday, Cosy Corner. Right? But I can tell you one thing about Cape Town's people is your lower income, your middle income, and your higher income people, right? Food isn't about money, right? Food to them is about quality, right? Your lower income as well. In fact, I think we're the most expensive for our steak Gatsby's and stuff in the Western Cape. But they want a Cosy Corner Gatsby for the simple reason that we grill, whether it's chicken, steak, we only use A grade. Chicken, we'll use fresh filleted chicken. The sauce is one of our secrets. We've worked with food technologists, and then we'll tweak it, the recipe, into a sense that we know what our people like, and we ask, how would you like this, and until we fine-tuned it. So in fact, our grilled steak Gatsby, we use that same sauce, that basting sauce in our sister restaurant, which is called Sabria's. And we don't skim because we know, look, it's costing us more. We could use, let's say, a tenderized cheap steak. We could get away with just a barbecue type of sauce and that. But we're unique in that sense. Even a masala steak gets, I think that cook takes like half a day with the marinating and the pan frying and they stick with my mom and aunts. Fortunately, the lady cooking today worked with my mom and my aunt and my sister. And she's passionate about cooking. Right? When it comes to other types of Gatsby, so we have like 11 to 12 different types. We have your calamari and hake Gatsby's. We have Vienna's, bologna. Our Gatsby loaf is specifically made for us. The bakery supplies a few other places with Gatsby's, but our one is standardized how it makes it, which costs us again a bit more, but we want quality. We package as well in like a bag that's got foil in to keep it warm. So we look at the end product from the beginning till the end, your experience at Cosy Corner. And I think we've won a couple of awards on the radios and that as the best Gatsby in Cape Town. We're not the originators of the Gatsby. Today a lot of people sell Gatsby's. There is a gentleman in Athlone that I think he started the Gatsby. And they're still doing well, which is awesome because you find it's also family and they're still there today and people know if you want a good, let's say Polony or Vienna Gatsby, you can go to them, you understand. We on the other hand have done to the Gatsby what I would say we have taken it to the next level. We've taken it to like what McDonald's has done with your burger, or Kentucky has done with your chicken, or Nando's with their chicken. We've just taken the Gatsby to that level. So when we do get orders through Mr. Delivery, the delivery addresses is on there. When people phone in, we take their phone number, and we find from the whole of Western Cape up to places like Bishop's Court, Constantia, these families. The Gatsby is no longer known like previously as the poor people or the middle income's food. No, it's the way we make it is that you know when a rugby match is on, a football and a get together and that you want to actually give your guests something nice. Although it's a Gatsby, but you know you're going to give them quality food. And this is where Cosy Corner comes in. How do the kids describe it? Oh, this is the place where the Gatsby is going to a private school. That's how they describe it. But anyway, yeah, it's awesome to see that people appreciate quality. And like I said, you know, your lower income people, they're going to pay up to 200 Rand for Gatsby. They want quality and they will spend that amount of money. Cape Town's people, especially in the colored community, are passionate about food. You know, for example, Muslim people, they obviously don't drink. So food is the sort of, you know, the main, like you'd find people talking about certain wines. They would talk about, you know, certain places where food's concerned. Yeah.
Do you feel that part of the reason why the Gatsby became popular and is still popular is because it has such a almost like a Ubuntu feel to it? It's
Yes.
sharing and
Yes.
people getting together.
Yeah. I mean, during the week, except the tour guides that daily they bring tourists here, foreigners and that, because one of the things as a tourist, you have to experience a local food, and then we'll let them experience the Gatsby at Cosy Corner. But as well, if corporates, we found that they'll order 30, 40 Gatsbys or so to sort of reward their workers and that. And it has got that Ubuntu feel because, you know, like we have we're also known for barbecuing, braaiing, right? So on a rainy day, you can't maybe braai. So you have that, hey, let's get some Gatsby's by Cosy Corner. And, you know, it's got that Ubuntu feel to it. Yeah, and this, you know, you can hear stories how to eat a Gatsby, for example.
Yes, please tell us about the Gatsby etiquette.
Yeah,
How do you do it? What are you allowed to do?
There's a few things that I found amazing. The person buying gets to choose which piece. So Gatsby loaf is that big, gets cut into 3 or 4 pieces, depending who will put money by. The person that maybe bought it, he gets to choose. The person is given the most money, right? And the other thing is, you do not eat a Gatsby with a knife and fork. You gotta like use your hands. What's the other etiquette? The chips that fall out, again, it's for, you know, they have all these quirky rules. Oh, and some guys pull up. I say, okay, you can have a seat because we got a seating area. If you buy takeout, you can go sit. No. Gatsby, you must eat on the bonnet of the car with a type of juice. You know, they have, what was that one juice? Cabana. Okay. So this is all. There's a etiquette to eating a Gatsby. You get what I'm saying? And yeah, it's quite interesting.
Like that etiquette has almost like evolved.
Yes.
Back in the 80s, I'm sure people wouldn't have like put it on the bonnet.
No.
But then also you get people coming or who enjoy the Gatsby and they have a certain culture.
Yeah.
And then maybe like they do like their cars and now they've kind of created that.
Yeah.
Culture.
You find a lot of Instagram and stuff on, you know, then I'm checking this out. Okay. Are they posting pictures and I'm at Cosy Corner? They put it on the. I think, what the hell are you gonna go and do at your car? They put it on the car's bonnet and posing. And, okay, so you have this culture around the Gatsby, which is quite cool, yeah.
Yes, I can't think of any South African food properly except for like when you talk about breakfast that has the same serious culture.
Yes.
I think it's Gatsby's and.
Yeah. Bear in mind as well, we have there was only one field as well where the colored community could play soccer, or, you know, sport or cricket or baseball. Was William Herbert Sports Ground, which is down this road. So you got to be in mind on a Saturday, every team that's finished playing and the spectators on a Saturday from the word go till the next Sunday morning, this place was packed and busy and the vibe. So I give you an example. I remember my parents, you guys must go help. So you're working maybe this Saturday, you think, I'm going to help from 10 to 5 or 6. Yeah, fine. You get a break and you got to come back at 8 or 9 and work till 4 in the morning. When we close here, in December, you know, we had family from Johannesburg. They come over and stay because our house quite big. They had a boys' room with a secret door. There was like 11, 12 mattresses. They all come stay here for the holidays. They had to work, So they'll work. Sunday morning, we'll have this combis. In the combi, 4, 5 in the morning, off to the beach, braai early, have a nap, come back, work. Yeah. So it's,
Your house gets to work.
Yeah. But they enjoyed it, you know. What kids, if they're getting
how did they, like at that time, like even though now like Joe like calls the Gatsby AK-47, I'm not sure like that time when they came to visit, like Gatsby a thing? Not yet.
No.
Cape Town. So how did they react to the Gatsby?
Well, I can tell you the reactions now is when it's holidays, you'll see just Johannesburg or Durban plates pulling up and that, and they will rave about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. But they have a funny way, they'll add things onto it, you know. And I found Johannesburg's people, they'll add to a steak Gatsby, they say, can I have egg, cheese, put on some extra viand, and we're like, what the hell? You actually add, so they're taking our normal Gatsby's, I think they just add on, you know, maybe they're bigger eaters in Cape Town's people. But yeah, what's a strange thing for us is, and we've gotten used to it, when they fly back, someone will come, you know, they fly over, they go back. Even people going to Australia, we ever back. They'll come here, order Gatsby and ask us, can you please wrap it up, double wrap? I was like, oh, why double wrap? Aren't you going to eat it? No, we're taking it with us. And I'm thinking, we're going back to Johannesburg or Durban with Gatsby. Because people there ask him to bring Gatsby's back. It's like, I don't know. It's quite interesting. So they know. It's not like, no, only Cape Town's people. Johannesburg, Durban's people, Port Elizabeth, they know when they come to Cape Town, no, they gotta eat Gatsby's, you know. Yeah.
And speaking of like people adding things on, so it's almost like the Gatsby is like a communal, intellectual, cultural property. And what do you think of, because obviously you have your 5-star restaurants and your chefs or whatever, and they recreate things, like they make fancy bunny chows or fancy Gatsby's, maybe with a ciabatta or something. Do you feel if that's done, that the essence of the Gatsby or the culture of the Gatsby is almost like misunderstood in it?
Yeah. Look, for a few years ago, I remember the Heart Foundation, they invited us and they made it quite a big thing. And we said, okay, we'll try it out. I don't know, we started making like a Gatsby with I don't know what type of bread and with salads and more health conscious. Yeah, the stuff isn't selling, although it was on the radios and, you know, it was marketed and we stand, and you can hear from customers, they will, I don't want to use the exact same words, they're walking, and you're like, man, that's not a Gatsby, you know? So Gatsby, you can't go and say, oh, I'm going to try and change it to do maybe put it on ciabatta or make it or fancy. No, they want the Gatsby. It's like, you know, when you treat yourself once a week or twice a week to Kentucky or McDonald's, or you're walking there and expect something different. You want what you came for in the Gatsby, you gotta keep standard. The only difference now comes in with quality is concerned. See? So we try and keep it health conscious. We grill our steaks, our chicken fillets. Like I said, our basting sauce is quite health conscious. It's got honey, fresh garlic, olive oil. So it's quite an expensive way to make a basting sauce. But again, I reiterate that Cape Town's people love quality food. You can get a Gatsby a lot of places. I mean, I take it, you're driving from the northern suburbs daily. You're driving past 4 or 5 takeouts that do sell Gatsby's, even in your own area. You take people like from Mitchell's Plain. You know, when they go back home, they phone in the order. And then you can hear now they're going to Mitchell's Plain. Or they call from Mitchell's Plain, they're going out for the night, they're not phoning. So it tells you that people will drive from far, skip other places to have this quality Gatsby. And that is one of the things that we make sure our chips, our salads, everything is fresh, done well. Yeah.
And you mentioned you have a lot of tourists coming in.
Yes.
And then, do they come in like tour groups, or are they like independent tourists coming here? And if they come in tour groups, How do they share the goal? Gatsby's very
That's a funny part because, when they come, the tour guides bring them and then some of them come on their own. So we find it hilarious and I tell the staff, don't do that, just explain it because we found a couple of them coming, we heard about the Gatsby, blah, blah, blah. Can I have a Gatsby? Then there may be 4 of them standing there and the other guy will say, and can I have a calamari? The other one say, are you really going to eat? And the staff, they would amongst themselves giggle and order. I said, no, don't do that because when it comes, the people realize, oh my God, I can't eat up this whole thing, you know what I'm saying? So now we tell them, listen, you can share, you can order half or order 2 and cut it up and, mix it up. And that was hilarious because, to see, and I've seen, it was a German couple one day. They said, no, we know what's a Gatsby. And they ordered and they both ate up a whole Gatsby. Huh? Oh, okay, cool. I've never seen this done. It's either going to be a challenge or... So that's one of the things. In fact, so we get people coming from the States. Then we ask them, so how do you know about the Gatsby? And one of the things is, it's a pity I can't directly thank him, but if a guy like Trevor Noah in the United States says, when you go to Cape Town, you got to try Gatsby at Cosy Corner. Then, so we find the Americans come here, Trevor said this, that, and I say, okay, here's your Gatsby, enjoy. But the thing is, we like to take note. If someone comes for the first time, are they going to come back? And 99% of the time they do, which says a lot about the food. Yeah, so that's a cool thing about tourists.
So Trevor mentioned Cosy Corner.
Yeah. And look, I think for celebrities, local, what's cool about Cape Town, they don't, when they walk into public spaces, people don't, like you see in the movies with these celebrities, you can have your autograph, take your pic and that. What's the captain of the rugby team? Because Colisi, I never followed the rugby and that. And when I'm saying, why is the stuff going on? I asked him, who's this guy? And I said, this is the captain of the rugby team. I said, he buys you a lot. I said, okay, so, greeted him, sorry, I didn't know, and took a pic with me. You find a lot of celebrities coming by here, the people that see them in the lawn and they acted, and when they're in Cape Town, they come by, and the nice part is, people will sit and they say, who's that? But they don't go up. So they feel comfortable coming to buy here and that we don't make a big thing, but we know, look, it's a big thing if these guys are coming to buy food here. We do find that, yeah.
You started Beyond Meat or vegan Gatsby.
Yeah.
Did you add that to the menu just because there's a more conscious movement in Cape Town and around the world?
Yeah, okay, so 2.5 years, 3 years ago, I decided I'm gonna cut out meats and chicken and that for health reasons. And, I also like a Gatsby or something. And I found that I'm eating the salads at home and this, I can't eat this, that. I said, but it must be quite difficult for someone that's vegetarian or vegan if they want a Gatsby. So now we do the Beyond Burger Gatsby. It's more pricier, unfortunately, because that Beyond patty is quite a, our other patties we make ourselves, our burger patties and that, we got our own secret, we make our own patties. So this we buy in the Beyond Burger patty, so we got that option. Or some people will just order chip Gatsby, and we make it nice with chips, a lot of salads and whatever sauce and spice you'd like on there.
Is the Beyond Gatsby popular?
I thought because of the price, because the only reason is that patty being expensive, it wouldn't be a good seller, but now it is actually, because you can't taste the difference. It tastes like proper patty, but it's actually quite popular amongst people that want alternate, they don't want to eat meat or chicken, so it is popular. Yeah. In fact, we used to buy the ready-made patty from Beyond Burger, but now they supply us the raw product so that we can keep it, compress it, make our own, you understand? So it's still Beyond Burger, yeah.
And I'm sure there's still a lot of people, maybe even like in small towns or whatever, that have no idea. They've heard of the Gatsby, but they don't know exactly what it is or what it should taste like. So, in your like own opinion, or like if you have to describe the Gatsby to someone in a nutshell, what would you say?
Okay, so we have it's basically an overloaf, and it gets stuffed with fries, chips, with salad, and then your choice what you like on the Viennas, bologna, meat, chicken, calamari, hake, whatever. So it gets made up to the Gatsby is for people that want to share one meal, right? So that's your Gatsby in a nutshell. We've recently done an ad and we came up with these names, these slangs that we as Cape Townians use to describe someone. So we had the Sturvy Gatsby, we had the Gimba Gatsby, and it was quite hilarious how people caught on and, you know, and do you know what Sturvy means? So Sturvy is someone that's very reserved and, you know, so that's a Sturvy Gatsby. And then you get someone, a Gimba is someone that really puts it away, so we named it the Gimba Gatsby, and we had this competition, and it was quite interactive and people getting to know the Gatsby, and because, you know, you had to like and share, and then you could win a Gatsby or 2 or 3 Gatsbys. So a lot of new people got to know what's a Gatsby and became interested. We've done 1 or 2 shows with Espresso as well, specifically for the Gatsby. We've been on the Travel Channel for the Gatsby. So it's you know, it's out there, but like you said, I think, you don't know what a Gatsby is and you live in Cape Town, I don't know where you've been, really. Because it's something, as a kid you grow up, your parents don't buy you a Gatsby and share it. Like I said, it's the Ubuntu about it, yeah. The sharing and look, what can we share? Not a lot of meals you can buy and you can share, but the Gatsby you can buy and share. You can buy 2 different types. You can buy half a Gatsby. For example, you guys are, like, let's say 12 or 6 or 8 people, but you like steak, I like chicken. So what you start doing is you buying halves, you cut it in half or whole ones, and then you cut them up and now you're sharing it. So the Ubuntu and the sharing part comes in. And then all the comments as we're eating and, you know what I'm saying, yeah.
What is the best drink companion for the Gatsby? Is it like the Coke? Is it...
No.
Stony.
No, Stony, no. So everyone has a choice now, but originally, and I don't know if it's still like that, because we don't actually sell the 2 liter. We don't sell a lot of cold drinks anymore. In that sense that there isn't that space for those fridges anymore. But the consensus out there is to eat a Gatsby the proper way is either with a juice, a 2 liter, you know, like a Cabana, or I don't know what they call it, Tropica. That's how you eat a Gatsby, wash it down with that, you know. And yeah, they have these rules. I can't top of my head. I remember someone, an unknown person, posted these rules, and it was quite hilarious, and it was actually true, and we didn't realize, but sure, you have all this etiquette going around the Gatsby, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if the chips fall on the ground, 3 seconds, all these different, I'm like, wow. You know, it's, yeah.
Speaking of Cabana, is there still Cabana in Cape Town or is it just Tropica?
I haven't seen the Cabana. I know there's Tropicas.
I've seen it in the Eastern Cape, but I've never seen it in Cape Town.
There should be. I know these big juice companies always take over. I know Dairy Bell did it. And then Clover, so you have Tropica and those things, yeah. We don't want to brag, but for us it would be easy to franchise now because we've got it cut down to the T, quality, execution. In fact, we employ, as a small business like this, I would say close to 40 staff members to execute these Gatsbys, right? And our packaging is professional. I don't think I've seen anywhere else where you know you're getting your stuff in a good packaged way and that. And we are intending to expand. But remember, if you look at a taco or a Kentucky, for example, or McDonald's, they have a recipe, right, that they stick to. All the branches stick to it. How are you going to replicate a Cosy Corner Gatsby? You can't. You need our recipes for our basting sauce. There's some things I haven't told you, right? That I can't tell you because it's a whole process. What we actually do, I've told you the finer parts of what you're getting, but there's certain processes in that kitchen that we use and ingredients we source. In fact, I can't also say their name. They're a massive spice company, sauce company. They make one certain spice and one sauce that we use in our ingredient to go and that we develop. So it won't be easy to replicate. You're gonna find, corporate can come in, these big companies and can decide to make, but let me tell you something. If you can't make a proper Gatsby, you don't want to hear from a guy of the southern suburbs. If you're going to give him something and it's not right, you're going to hear, have you heard Afrikaans people swear already? It's not the nicest. Right? And I've seen it. They'll tell you straight, listen, say van kakan. You know what I'm saying? So it won't be, I had that fear because look, they can, what are we going to do? Take a loaf, that. But like I said, people are driving from all over the Western Cape. They'll know it's either Cosy Corner or this other place. And how they're going to get our recipes, I don't know. You understand?
But that also begs the question, though, what is the future of the Gatsby?
The future of the Gatsby is Cosy Corner takes it a bit further to another area, but not over franchise. Because you know what happens with franchises is certain things you can franchise in the food industry, right? There's certain things you can't. A Gatsby is something that you can't say, oh, look, we're talking about 11, 12, 13 different types of stuff that's going. It depends on the customer's choice, right? If you take, we have to sell volume, right? In comparison to other takeouts like ourselves, they will employ 4 or 5 staff members in the kitchen, right? Few people in front. I'm telling you, we're using top chefs, qualified chefs that make a Gatsby. You go into any other kitchen in the Western Cape where they sell a Gatsby, go and ask, have you got qualified chefs? I'm talking about chefs. I've got chefs here that work in your top restaurants, but they'll work here because of the quality and the standard we uphold, and we can afford them because of the volume we're selling, right? But to say you're gonna just take a Gatsby and start making it, people have tried it, let me tell you, and unfortunately they failed. So, for example, if you let's take a franchise, right? You haven't found that in the franchising industry, let's use Kentucky, Nando's, and McDonald's again, right? You do not find that same type of foods that you find little takeouts selling the exact same type of thing. With a Gatsby, you can go and get a bologna, a Vienna steak, a chicken Gatsby at any other place that's selling Gatsby's. It's a matter of now quality, taste. What do you want? Do you just want to fill yourself, or do you actually want a proper, good Gatsby? See, I don't think they'll be able to do it. Someone like ourselves, we could take it to that next level. Because now, if I'm telling you, on a daily basis, people are driving from as far as the northern suburbs. For us to take a Cosy Corner and open it there, or let's say, from Mitchell's Plain and to open a Cosy Corner there, right, will work. Then it becomes sort of a franchise. You understand? We had the offers where big corporates want to invest, and I said no. One of the things about this type of food, you gotta be hands-on. You cannot, and I've seen people do it, they open 1, 2 takeouts, but the food isn't consistent. In the food industry, to franchise, you gotta be consistent. So for us, we will maybe make all our basting sauce at one kitchen and supply and execute and do things. And there's that whole process we'll do here, the ones I haven't told you about. And then we supply and they execute, they grill it off, they put on our basting, they're getting that same Gatsby loaf that we only get supplied. So then we can do it. But I could say, yeah, you could take a standard bologna, Vienna, Gatsby and franchise it, yeah. But it's not about that. Because remember, it gets shared. And when it gets shared, people have different tastes. So we again, 8, 12 people, big family. You don't eat chicken. He doesn't eat meat. That one, so we can buy a few different types. Where you're gonna get good quality of all 11 types of different fillings. Cosy Corner.
I didn't see the Gatsby as fast food. It takes time. It's not like a quick burger that you make at McDonald's. And with fast food, things like Mr. Delivery and all of that, the quickness of it all came. But yeah, when those restaurants came, did it affect you?
I would say, yeah, I would say how it affected us, not really. Maybe a little bit in the sense that people is going to go now, they're allowed because they start having halal certificates, and so now people will eat there and that. But again, if I look on two ways, I'll tell you how it affected us, for example, trading late hours. We found the garages had these little places we can buy hot dogs, pies and that, right? So that time of the night, people are hungry. They won't drive all the way here. It's 2, 3 in the morning, they come from a club. You have now boerewors stands outside. People just want to eat, they want to fill themselves. They had a couple of drinks, they just want to fill. They're not now worried about quality. They want to fill themselves, right? So we started trading less hours, which we actually welcomed. Right? Secondly, I don't think it has, in the sense that as our own family, we tend to buy maybe on a Monday evening. My wife does a lot of the inventories and stuff, so she hasn't got time to cook. We'll do standardized Nando's, the family. Right? So with all these franchises, you do find that Friday night is Friday Gatsby at Cosy Corner. Maybe Monday, Tuesday, someone will say, let's treat ourselves to McDonald's. But now what I found is, again, those franchises, if you look, they tend to have specials, right? On certain days, which will be in the week, when people are low on income. And then, yeah, people will go buy for that reason. But if I look overall, it hasn't affected. In fact, we just keep on growing because now the people that didn't know about Cosy Corner, that has been buying McDonald's, Kentucky, they discovered, wait, listen, here's actually something better, more quality, right? I'm not putting down any of the other places. There is, I think Nando still makes a good quality meal. It might be pricey, but we'll pay for, again, good quality. The grilled stuff, it's nice, it's consistent, right? But if you want to eat takeouts once a week, you're gonna go for a good quality Gatsby rather. You're gonna get proper steak, South African, right? You're gonna get chips, slap chips like they say, listen, a good proper takeout. So we haven't been, look, there's business for everyone, right? And in order to survive in this market, you got to keep up your standards. You know what I'm saying? Your hygiene, your quality, your packaging, your ingredients and that. And yeah, I've seen a lot of places open, try, and then unfortunately 90%, according to the people that supply restaurant equipment, whether it's Vulcan or Brothers, is statistically they say 80 to 90% fail within 1 to 2 years, have to close down again. Because it's not just about what is a Gatsby? Oh, we're gonna just stuff it with this and that. No, it's a lot of other layers to it. Yeah.
And then the last question: when you opened in 1973, when did you first put the Gatsby on the menu, and what Gatsby did you have?
When we opened, there wasn't something like a Gatsby. 73, no Gatsbys. I'd say a few years later on, the gentleman in Athlone, according to him, these workers were working. And I know they were working sound. Now, in Athlone, they also had a cinema, right? And his place is near there. But, you know, these guys were working on construction or something. And at lunchtime one day they came and they were hungry and they brought him this loaf, I think an oval loaf or something. And he had the fisheries, he still has the fisheries today. And they asked him, you know, pang, like Afrikaans, fill this up with chips and they brought bologna. This is how the Gatsby became. And at that moment, there was a movie playing at the theater, The Great Gatsby, and he named it the Gatsby. So we don't take credit for creating the Gatsby. We take credit for taking it to the next level. Cool.
Perfect.
Cool.
Very much.
Thank you for sharing all the stories.
Cool. Hope it helps your documentary.